Colbinabbin for 61 years now, and this is my hometown.
Hi, my name's Shell. We're currently at the railway bridge in Colbinabbin.
I'm Finley Ratton. I've lived here all my life.
Hi, I'm Marion and welcome to Carrigmore.
G'day, I'm Guy Ratchin from Colbinabbin. I've lived here all my life.
Hi, I'm Ron, and hopefully I can show you some of the local points of interest around the town.
We're standing in front of the Colbinabbin grain silos, which were used extensively up till the year 2000. And since the year 2000 they haven't been used at all, and they're just a monument to our past glory as the home of the golden grain, which Colbinabbin was always known for.
This is an important place for me when I was growing up, as this is where we all go swimming. We used to jump off the bridge and we used to float down to this bridge here. It's also a place where we go for walks along the channel. It's got a beautiful view, even for an irrigation channel. So this is what is probably the most important place to me in Colbinabbin. It's like the vein of the town.
There's quite a bit of history about, and we talk of the pepper tree, which is on the site of one of the old sawmills. Now it's a shelter for the young people of the district, where they have their twiggies, mainly on Saturday night, and last Saturday night was no exception.
At night time, we may retreat to the peppercorn tree. We have bonfires, some couches that aren't burnt. People will be sitting in the trees, hanging from trees. There's lots of singing, there's lots of laughter. You'll probably hear throughout talks of Colbinabbin, the peppercorn tree, and this is where it is. It's been here for many years, and hopefully it'll be here for many more. That's if we don't burn it down one year.
We're standing in front of the original site for the Colbinabbin tractor pull. The tractor pull was originated in 1982 and went till 1987. The first pull was that successful. There were approximately 30,000 people arrived. There were cars lined up bumper to bumper from Heathcote, Bendigo, Rochester and Rushworth. It was just absolute bedlam on the roads. And for people who don't know what a tractor pull is, it involves made up tractors pulling a weight that progressively gets heavier as they go down the track. As the tractor that pulls the weight there the longest distance is the winner. The legacy of all this has been that we've given out over $250,000 to various community projects, including the halls, hospitals, schools, cemetery, and you name it, we gave money to it. The tractor pull eventually became such a big program that it was a victim of its own success. Probably one day it'll be revived again, but it won't be by anyone as old as me.
This is actually the second site of our local halls that were built in the district. The original one was built in and opened in 1902, 8 kilometres to the west of Colbinabbin. The original hall that was built on this site was built in 1923, and it was demolished, and then this actual building was opened in June 1967.
And it's called the Morrill Hall because of the remembrance of returned and serving soldiers. It commemorates the ones in the First World War, Second World War, Korean War and Vietnam War.
It is a well-used facility in the district. Here we are, this is our library, which we're very proud of. And our librarian, she comes and visits every fortnight to upgrade the facilities and change over the books and do some of the book work. But it is a very good facility and we're quite proud of it.
welcome to Carrigmore, my family home, and it was my father's family home before the 7 of us all came along. We have got wonderful fond memories of this place. Everything's happened here. I had my 21st here. My sister had her wedding reception here. I'm just going to show you some of the places that have been totally untouched since my childhood, so come with me and I'll show you. This is the dairy here, so come with me and I will show you some of the writings that my father has done over a long period of time. There's a lot of history in here. Really must have put something on here every day, but anyway, there's one here that it says Marion engaged September the 1st, 84, God bless. Steve, who was my husband, operated on 84. Everything okay. Ella came home from an operation in Melbourne, good result. Frankie died 1974, RIP. My auntie, she got engaged in 1989 at the age of 62. Now I'll just take you inside the house. This is the kitchen. This is where we ate all our meals. My father sat there, my mother sat there. We all had our place at the table, and I was left on the little table. Here is the blacksmith shop. So this is something that's totally untouched. It's stayed all the same as what I only ever remember it as. My father has done lots of writings again on this wall. As you can see, everything's hanging how it has, I think, for a long time. My father spent lots of time in here. I think he was very fond of this place. All this writing here, I have not really read this at all that much, but this one is an entry of 1967 and doing statistics today, very fine weather, Rob, who is my brother, helping Tom O'Dwyer with crutching. So there's lots of other writings of people dying, people visiting. Yeah, just history.
This is originally Adamson Dog Creamery, and it's believed to have been set up when they first settled in possibly 1865 or around about that time. It's run by an old family of the district, and it was John and Margaret Adamson that run it. They died in 1891. This would have been the original creamery, and it is built as in underground cellar type of building out of logs. Unfortunately, it's in quite a bit of disrepair now, and possibly it's something that should be taken up with the National Trust. It is an old relic, and I'm quite sure that we should be really looking after it and try and get it restored.
Chinamans Bend. It's named Chinamans Bend because back in the gold rush days, a Chinaman rolled his horse and cart just over the edge there, coming from Bendigo. As you can see, it's a beautiful view, and quite often me and my friends will come up here of an evening and have a couple of stubbies and watch the sunset over the back of the hill.
on the top of the range where my grandfather first noticed this land. The township was originally designed for on this corner here where these few houses are, but then the railway come through, and it was only because the train couldn't get over the hill they decided to stop and make the town there where it is today. We're down here at the old cellar that Henning built in about the 1870s, and it's had a few alterations since then. Well, we'll just go down and have a look at the old cellar now and see what's inside there. It's all pretty well original. All the framework, we had to replace the side walls, that's all, but all the rest is the same as what it was, say, 140 years ago or more. Yeah. And there's quite interesting writings on the wall here. They've been just done in chalk, but you can still read them, and they've been there as long as I can remember. There's a couple more writings up here on these beams up here. It's, would you like another drink? Oh yes. And remember when to say no. And there's one down there above the light. Is don't tell mother. This is part of the writing on the wall. A house to let, inquire within. The tenants are turned out for drinking gin. And that's my dad's initials there, and that's Henning, the one who built it. That's him again, and I put mine there. We can see 1892, 3 and 4. I don't know what that is. There was writing on the other door too, but it's been rubbed off or something like that. But yeah.
Standing on the edge of Lake Cooper looking east. Behind us is the Water Ski Association, which is the headquarters of the Victorian Water Ski Association. They built the building in approximately the year 1999, and they were warned at the time that Lake Cooper could go dry at some stage, even though it hadn't been dry for 60 years. They built their complex, had 4 years of water skiing, and the lake gradually emptied until in 2003 it emptied completely. And so Corop ended up with a wonderful reception centre, caravan park and swimming pool, and there's no water in the lake. We're now on the edge of Lake Cooper, which is dry. When I was young, when it was full of water, we used to have parties here. We used to have what we call jamborees. We used to get up to 500 people at them. I remember in the 50s and 60s boat races being held here, and there were thousands of people lined up on the edge of Lake Cooper. That all evaporated in 2003 when the lake went dry, and it's been dry since. We don't expect it'll be full in the next 10 years. This is a community well. It was first built in the mid-1850s, somewhere thereabout, they say. So they used to come out and graze in wagons. They had these tanks in the back of the wagons, and they'd take them home. Yeah. I can remember carting water from the channel in old Furphy water carts. Still going in up to 1945. They put motors on it. They had a steam engine on it for a start, I believe. And they always had somebody in looking after it.
There's been a big afternoon, and there's a lot more that we could have shown you about in our area that we think is fairly important, and we really think it's a great place, and we really like to keep our colours going, which are green and gold. Thanks for your afternoon.